Sister Alyonushka and Brother Ivanushka by Kyrie Malign Cardenas, found on brushandcrafts.com, collected and edited by Michael Terlesky. When our parents died, I knew that the responsibility of taking care of my little brother had become my own. With this in mind, I set off to work with him, Ivanushka. The walk ahead would be a long one across a wide green field, and after some time of walking, my brother seemed to begin to feel thirsty as he said, "Sister Alyonushka, I am thirsty." To which I replied, "Be patient, little brother. We shall soon come to a well." We walked, and the sun was now high up in the sky, and Ivanushka and I were so hot that we began to feel sad. We came upon a cow's hoof filled with water, and Ivanushka, my thirsty little brother, asked, "May I drink out of the hoof, Sister Alyonushka?" With an empathetic heart, I replied, "No, little brother. If you do, you'll turn into a calf." My sweet brother obeyed, and we continued to walk a bit further. The blistering sun was still very high in the sky, and the heat was so bad that we felt sadder. We had come upon a horse's hoof filled with water, and of course, Ivanushka asked, "May I drink out of the hoof, Sister Alyonushka?" I could do nothing but sigh and say, "No, little brother. If you do, you will turn into a fowl." Ivanushka did little but sigh, and we continued onward. We walked with the sun still high and the air so very dry that I felt almost faint. Once again, we came upon a hoof filled with water, but this time it was the hoof of a goat. Once again, I told Ivanushka, "No, little brother. If you do, you will turn into a kid." This time, unbeknownst to me, Ivanushka did not listen and drank from the hoof. When I called his name, a goat ran to me, and I knew that he had not listened. I sat crying in despair by a stack of yellow hay, as the goat that was once my brother played. My only remaining family member was now a goat, and I truly felt alone. As I sat crying, a merchant on a horse rode by and asked, "What are you crying for, pretty maid?" I told him of Ivanushka and I's troubles and of how my only remaining family member had been turned into a goat. The merchant then asked me to marry him and promised me that I would be dressed in silver and gold. Most importantly, he said that my little goat, Ivanushka, could live with us. I happily agreed to marry him and become a merchant's wife if it meant my brother and I would be taken care of. From then we lived together happily, the three of us, until one day my husband left and a woman appeared at my window. She charmingly begged me to come bathe with her in the river, so I followed the seemingly sweet woman, and once we arrived, her true nature and intentions were revealed. The woman, or more specifically the witch, tied a stone around my neck and threw me into the water. She did this all before she took my shape and clothes. I do not know how long I was left living as a spirit on this earth, in a limbo of sorts. I was no longer connected to my physical being since it remained in the water, weighed down by the stone. What I did know, though, was that my sweet little goat brother visited me often at the riverbank, calling out to me, "Sister, dear Sister Alyonushka, swim out to me." Each time he cried his plea, I became enveloped in grief. Who would take care of my brother now that I was nothing more than a spirit? I lived the remaining days of my spiritual existence, stuck in a cycle of sadness and misery. Up to the day Ivanushka ran to the riverbank crying, "Sister, dear Sister Alyonushka, swim out to me. Fires are burning high, pots are boiling, knives are ringing, and I'm going to die." In an attempt to save both his and my life, I cried back, "Brother, dear brother Ivanushka." A heavy stone lies on my shoulders, silken weeds entangle my legs, and fellow sands press hard on my breast. We continued to shout back and forth to one another. Suddenly, in the distance, I noticed my husband and a group of people coming towards the river. In their hands, I saw a net and became overjoyed. They were going to save me. I was going to be with my brother and my husband in the land of living once again. They took my body from the river, rid me of the stone, dipped my body in spring water, and dressed me in beautifully vibrant clothing. As a result of my Savior's effort, my soul returned to my body. Ivanushka was so elated that he did 3 somersaults. And to everyone's surprise, as he finished his last somersault, his body changed, and there stood my human brother. To pay for what she had done, the witch was tied to a horse's tail that was then allowed to roam freely in an open field.